So we are getting ready for a party. We are going to entertain this evening, and I started doing all the planning and the prep work. So I want to share with you all the steps I did, what I'm doing, and then of course the recipes for this event. And we're gonna have plenty of appetizers, plenty of finger foods, and plenty of things to share with you, recipes and all the things. So I have what I'm going to be making on this little list, and then what I just did is I put times. I put prep time and cook time. So I have a prep column and a cook column because I know that there are some things I can prep in advance, and then of course, when do I actually need to cook the appetizer or the main dish before the party starts. I'm gonna just kind of ramble through these items so you see what's on the menu. And we're gonna make some Chicago mini hot dogs. We're gonna make Dijon mustard brie wheel, fall charcuterie board, bourbon meatballs, shrimp tostada bites, martini dip, a s'mores dip for dessert, pepper jelly because I have that already made. I'm gonna pour that over cream cheese. And I'm gonna make a chicken buffalo dip, also a shrimp ring. And now the other thing I did was I took all the ingredients for each dish and I lined it up. And then I even went as far as to make sure serving dishes that I'm prepared. So I went through my cabinets and made sure I found the perfect serving dish. So I placed that with everything. And I started a prep of a bar over here for the sangria. Oh, did I mention I'm gonna make a caramel apple sangria as the spotlight highlight drink. I just want something refreshing, and I thought a caramel apple sangria sounded so good. That was my first step. Plan it out, set it out, get my dishes, and now I'm even gonna go as far as to plan my dishes and the things I need to prep, mixing bowls, and everything I need for that. And I'm gonna start prepping and doing all the fun things. So let's get into it and follow my little prep and cook sheet. Okay, we're gonna make these meatballs. We have 2.5 cups of honey barbecue sauce. Any brand will do. So we're gonna add that to our mixing bowl. 2.5 cups. To that, I'm gonna add 3/4 cup of bourbon. We are using Elijah Gregg. Once again, it doesn't matter the brand, and I know we ended up with just enough. Let me tell you, my husband to give up his bourbon, he didn't give it up. We're just putting it in a different method here, but actually just gave him an excuse to go buy more. So we'll stir that up, and then I'm going to add, it said 3 cloves of garlic. I'm gonna take my little cheat here. That's about, seems, maybe a little more. Okay, and then we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. So that's 1, 2, and then 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. 1, 2. For a little heat, some crushed red pepper. I don't love spice, so I'm just gonna do a sprinkle. And then I have onion powder. So I'm just gonna do a teaspoon of that. You can go ahead and get this all ready, leave it in your fridge, and then when you're ready, put the meatballs in the crock pot, pour this on top, and then you're ready to go. Put that to the side and move on to our next appetizer. Okay, our next recipe is our dirty martini dip. 8 ounces of cream cheese, a cup of sour cream, that's 8 ounces. 3/4 cup of the pimento stuffed olives, chopped up. 1 tablespoon of olive juice. 1/4 a teaspoon of onion powder. And 1/4 a teaspoon of garlic powder. And 4 ounces of crumpled blue cheese. This is a 5-ounce package, so it's gonna be most of this, but I wanna get this crumbled. And I went for the good stuff. I went for the blue Stilton. Use a hand mixer. You could also do this in your stand mixer. I'm adding a little more olive juice for the consistency to get it smooth. Okay, in reviewing the recipe, I realized I was supposed to add the olives and the blue cheese maybe towards the end and then hand mix them in. I don't know if that's gonna matter a whole lot, but if you're doing this recipe, you may see that in the recipe description that's the difference here. I served the dip with cucumbers and carrots. Okay, our meatballs are ready to get started. We're gonna pour, I put 3 bags of restaurant style meatballs. These are made with pork and beef. And boy, can I smell the bourbon. my gosh. I just flung a meatball. Oh my word.
That is too funny. It landed in the garbage bag. I did not bring it back.
Let's go ahead and put this on high.
Okay.
And go. Okay, we're gonna make the sauce for our Chicago mini hot dogs. And I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise, half a cup of yellow mustard. And to this, I'm gonna add Lipton onion soup mix. And it's gonna be 3 tablespoons of this. So that's 1, 2, 3. And I'm just gonna set this to the side. I'm gonna put it in another bowl for presentation. But I'll do that closer to when the hot dogs are ready. A very popular Pampered Chef recipe is the brown sugar Dijon Bread. That's what we're gonna prep now. You actually cook the bread. And of course, I have the Rock Crock grill pan. And this is perfect. You actually cook the bread and the brie all together in the oven, and that's what we're gonna do today. First step, I'm going to chop our almonds. Okay. Now, we're gonna get that into our mixing bowl with a half a cup of brown sugar. We'll do half of these, because the other half is gonna go on top for presentation. And then you do a tablespoon of Dijon mustard. And then I'm gonna set it aside because we're not ready to cook our brie just yet. Okay, I got this French baguette from Aldi. And I'm just gonna slice them on the bias here. I'm gonna store these in a bag until I'm ready. Okay, and I'm gonna keep it with my pan and just set it to the side until I'm ready.
Now it's time to finish our Chicago mini hot dogs. I have 1 can of biscuit dough. I am cutting the biscuit in 4 equal pieces.
Okay, now I'm taking the sausage and I am curl around and pinch. It says to loosely pinch. We want that sausage really down there. So just loosely pinch. In the oven, they're gonna open up and be like a wrapped hot dog in a bun.
Now I'm taking an egg wash of 1 egg with a splash of water, and I'm gonna brush that on each of the mini hot dogs. And then I'm gonna sprinkle on celery seeds and poppy seeds. And these are ready for the 350-degree oven for 10 to 12 minutes.
All right, we're getting down to the final hour and a half before the party starts. So I'm going to do the remaining things that are right up until party time, the last prepping before I put things in the oven. And that would include getting my shrimp ready. They have to be cooked. So I have these Argentina red shrimp, a pound of these that were frozen. They're now fully defrosted. I'm going to drain all the liquid, pat it with paper towels, and put it in my pan. Pan is heating up. I'm gonna go ahead and season our shrimp, and I'm gonna add some garlic salt, about a teaspoon, add some chili powder, and I'm gonna add some cumin. Our guacamole has salt in it. The chip also has salt in it, so I'm not gonna add any salt to the shrimp.
I saute the shrimp on both sides until fully cooked, and now I'm ready to assemble my tostadas. And what I do is I get one of the scoop tortillas, put in a dollop of guacamole, and top it off with one of the cooked shrimp.
Okay, we're gonna make our brie now. We're gonna cut this brie in half, and I just took it out of the fridge, which is the right time to do it, because if you let it get to room temperature, you will not be able to get your knife through it. So what I'm gonna do is take the cut side up, and I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna add my mixture. Remember, this is our brown sugar, our almonds, and our Dijon mustard. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the other half, once again, cut side up, and I'm gonna take the rest of this and put it on top. Remember our chopped almonds? Well, now I'm gonna just sprinkle those on top of here. Now, remember, plan ahead, make ahead. We went ahead, cut our bread. Make sure this is centered.
After spraying with olive oil, it goes into a 425-degree oven for 8 to 10 minutes. This is our finished brie. It is ready for the party. Perfectly charred toast and melted cheese.
All right, making our sangria. It's 1 bottle of Pinot Grigio. I've added 1 cup of kissed caramel Smirnoff into there. And now I'm gonna do 6 cups of our 100% apple cider.
Now in the final minutes before the party starts, the best thing to do is recruit help. And I did that. I asked my family to help me with the final touches, and they were kind enough to oblige. Here's the final spread. And also on the island were those meatballs, the mini hot dogs, the brie cheese, and the s'mores dip. Not only did we entertain with food, but we also entertained with music by my husband playing piano for our friends and family. It was a great night of food and entertainment. As always, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.